tratar de personas con opiniones muy importantes, pues todos ellos saben que la educación es impresionante. Ajá. De todos los países hay mucho que aprender. Existen varias pruebas para poder mejorar, medir los aprendizajes.
Hi, my name is Jabber Baines. I'm from Toronto, Canada. I'm teaching grade 3 at San Roberto, and I've also taught in London, England. So the main question was, what makes Canada such a great education place? So basically, I've just found out by the OCD that Canada's ranked.
La PISA determina en qué medida alumnos de 15 años adquieren conocimientos y competencias para afrontar los retos presentes en el día a día.
Pretty amazing. So the reason why I think Canada might be playing a really big factor is the fact that Canada has so many multicultural cultures and religions. For example, you'll be sitting in one classroom and there'll be 20 different cultures and religions, and it's really amazing that we can all sit together in the classroom and work together. And we benefit from each other's cultures, and we really learn from one another. Also, education is really big, and they're trying all these new things in Canada, and it's great to know that they're respected in the OCD thing.
And what do you think is a key element for education success?
The key element for education success will definitely be differentiated instruction. So basically, each student needs to be able to access the work, so it can't be too challenging, and also it cannot be too boring to a fact where it's too easy, because then they get bored and turned off. So basically, the key element is to really just try different things. As you know, education is changing a lot in these years, and now we're trying new things like flexible seating, like maybe they can sit anywhere in the classroom instead of sitting in one chair, and just basically catering to your audience. So like, if you know one student with a special need or something special for their learning, that's just one student, and everyone's unique. So you have to really make sure you cater to your audience and just differentiate instruction, never really take anything for granted.
You mentioned you have past experience teaching in England. What can you tell us about that?
Okay, so when I went to teach in England, I was teaching grade 1 there at an inner city school. The thing I learned about England is that it's really kind of intense. So basically, I had 30 students in my class, and we had 5 tables, so 5 students per table, and they were ranked and seating according to their skill level. So it was the less able table, the lower core table, the core table, the upper core table, and the more able table. And they sat according to the skill levels, and that's how they categorize them. So basically, in grade 1, grade 2, you don't really know, but when you get older, you're like, okay, I'm sitting here because this is how smart I am. And this, if I want to be smarter, I'll be sitting with the smarter kids, or if I was a bit not as intelligent, I'll be sitting over there. And basically, for each lesson, everything was differentiated to fit everyone's needs. So for example, as a counting lesson in grade 1, if you can only count to 10, your table will only have counting to 10, and maybe up to 15, 20 to challenge you. If you can count to 50, then you have challenge up to 50, and maybe up to 75 to challenge you. If you count up to 100, then you can count up to 100 plus 125 to challenge you. So as a teacher, it was very time consuming, and it was really tough for a teacher because you had to differentiate it for each level, which at the end of the day challenged everybody and also had everything accessible. But the main the devil's advocate to that is basically, at a young age, the gap's not so big, but when they get older and older, if you keep challenging them with not as great as challenges as the other ones, the gap gets bigger. So by the time they get to like grade 6, the tables have a great difference from them. And basically your grade level in England follows you. So if you're like 1A, 1B, 1C in grade 1, if you're a 1B and you go to grade 2, you're not a 2B anymore, you're still 1B until you can show your 1A and 2C. So there's kids in grade 6 with like 4As and 4Bs and 5As, and that's basically the level it follows you. So from a very young age, they're challenged and they're labeled, and it just follows them forever. And it's interesting, and it's just...
And what happens with their self-esteem?
My self-esteem as a teacher?
No, their self-esteem.
Their self-esteem, because the fact that that's all they know, they just know that's just how it is. So some students may think of it as a challenge, be like, wow, I need to work hard so I can sit at that table. Some students might settle, okay, this is where I belong. This is where I belong, exactly. Mm-hmm. Some students will feel really bad, the fact that they're at the lesser table and they're not at the bigger table. And then people might see like the students might think, oh, they're smarter than me, they're better than me, or I'm at the big table, I'm better than everyone else. So it really works both ways. So it's just crazy. It's just amazing, and like that's what they do over in England, and it's all results driven, evidence driven, and they're very into that stuff. And in England also, the government audits the schools, so there's so much pressure from up above to really do well and stuff.
El Teams valora el currículo prescrito y aplicado y logrado, wow, wow, en los estudiantes.
What can you learn from education in your country?
Our country has a system of education stated by the government, right? Public schools are aligned by what the government says it should have, and that distracts away from what people want to learn, because it doesn't adapt to the specific needs of the people who want to learn. There has to be some sort of alignment, yes, but there has to be flexibility in order to fit the type of learning to individual students, and that's what's wrong with our country's system. The key element for success in education is adaptability. To be able to be flexible, to be able to custom make specific classes, specific projects for the individual, based on their learning strengths, based on their passions, based on what they like to do, in order to give a sense of motivation and ownership about their learning. So flexibility is the main issue.
Listo.
Hola, bueno, mi nombre es Vivian Beiguela Castillo. Soy de Cuba, nací en Cuba y ahí también estudié, desde kinder hasta la universidad. Entonces, bueno, tu pregunta es ¿qué podemos aprender de la educación en mi país, de la educación de Cuba?
Estando con el IECHE para alumnos de primaria, comprueban y valoran los aprendizajes en Latinoamérica.
La educación de Cuba es una educación integral. Es una educación que tiene que ver con preparar a la gente en las habilidades, en las cosas básicas, en lo que va a necesitar toda la vida. Y luego en los grados superiores se enfoca mucho en conocimiento del mundo, en tener una visión del mundo, en cultura general, ¿no? Y pues es una educación basada en eso, donde no se cuestiona lo que el maestro hace, no se cuestiona si es mucha tarea, si es un tema que va o un tema que no va, o si hace, o sea, en Cuba estudias porque estudias. Si tienes que estudiar en la noche, es en la noche, si es en la madrugada, es en la madrugada. Si eres músico, estudias igual. Si es para arquitecto, estudias igual. Para médico, estudias igual. Si eres deportista, estudias igual. No es aquí estudias menos, allá estudias más. Nadie se cuestiona el tema de estudiar, si es mucho para mí, si puedo con esto, si no puedo. Nadie se lo cuestiona. Todo el mundo va y todo el mundo lo hace.
Mi nombre es Oscar Rojas Mustelier. Soy maestro de música en el Colegio Instituto San Roberto. Imparto clases de banda en este instituto y también soy maestro de la Universidad Autónoma de Nuevo León en la Facultad de Música.
Ok, maestro, mucho gusto. ¿Qué nos podría usted decir que toma de la educación en Cuba para incorporar en una educación aquí en México?
Enfoque en todo lo que es la especialización. Por ejemplo, nosotros, en el caso mío, que desde pequeño tuvimos la oportunidad de estar formando parte de escuelas especializadas en arte. Todos realmente teníamos esa opción de si tenías una vocación, ya sea deportiva, artística, tus padres podían llevarte a hacer unas pruebas de aptitudes y si quedabas, ya estabas a muy temprana edad enfocado en una carrera, en este caso especializada en música, ¿verdad? Como para mí. Creo que es algo que debería ser adoptado no nada más por México, sino por cualquier país. Es algo importante para la educación, el enfoque a la especialización, ¿verdad?
Aquí en México se utiliza mucho el enfocarnos en la educación preescolar. En Cuba, ¿cómo es eso?
En Cuba, en mis tiempos que estuve estudiando allá, que hace unos años, ¿verdad? Estaba bastante enfocado desde el principio, desde preescolar. La juventud en Cuba, la juventud, estoy hablando de adolescencia en adelante, creo que como su punto más importante, sí, porque está muy centrado la educación en la juventud. Todos los proyectos, en aquel entonces intercambios internacionales, ahorita no te sé decir si continúe, pero en aquel entonces todo el intercambio con todo el campo socialista era muy importante y pues bueno, nosotros somos prácticamente fruto de esa etapa que vivió la educación en Cuba. Pues prácticamente todos nuestros maestros eran rusos, búlgaros. Sí, hubo realmente mucho de dónde agarrarse de las mejores escuelas de arte que existían en el mundo, ¿verdad?
Hay mucha diversidad en Cuba.
Sí, bastante. Toda la diversidad en cuanto a educación, yo creo que es notorio porque hay muchos parámetros y encuestas y se mide todo esto de la educación y Cuba pues casi siempre queda en de los primeros lugares en la zona, ¿verdad? Obviamente, sin hablar de países ya más desarrollados como Europa y Estados Unidos.
Si usted pudiera resumir la clave esencial de la educación en una palabra o en varias, ¿qué sería?
En una sola palabra se me hace difícil. En varias, bueno, a mí me toca hablar de la música. No puedo hablar de la educación sin hablar de la música. He comprobado yo por la profesión que tengo que la música ayuda. Vamos a hablar de las artes. Bueno, yo soy músico, pero todas las artes ayudan en demasía a todo el sistema educativo de cualquier zona que estemos hablando. Creo que no lo digo nada más así al azar. Están ahí todas las instituciones que han logrado altos estándares, ¿verdad? En educación. Tienen muy buenos programas de arte, de música, de artes visuales, de artes escénicas. Son muy completos sus programas. Entonces creo que en este caso te puedo hablar de lo que me toca a mí, que es muy completo, un colegio o una institución que tenga muy elaborados sus programas de arte.
Perfecto, muchísimas gracias.
De nada.
I'm from Venezuela. I've been outside from Venezuela 10 years now. Education in Venezuela to me was strict. I studied most of my time in a private school, and then I went to college in a public school. And what I remember the most is the first time that it's not up to your parents. You need to also study, but at the same time you begin to deal with like government, how a country runs. When you will go to a public school, you begin to realize that you need to be number one, you need to make lines, you need to be interested. Not everything works like it's supposed to, so you got to figure it out. And all in all, I think that was a really great experience for me to just go to a system that is flawed and just be able to fix it up and survive. Survive is a good word. And that's about that. I think that the key element for education for that too is education goes hand in hand with what is your passion, and it goes hand in hand with perseverance. Education is not only what you learn in school, but what are your interests, what do you read outside of school, if you like to look at the sky or look at trees, if you ask yourself questions. So if you can channel education towards what is it that you gravitate to, that to me is the key.
Hi, my name's Miss Avery. I'm from Australia. As far as what you can learn from education in Australia, I don't know, I never taught there and it was a long time ago that I was a student, but I think inclusivity, everybody gets the same education, it's largely free, heavily government, some subsidised even into college and university, which I know is different in the States. I don't know about Mexico. So I think that less cost in education to everybody, to give everyone the same opportunity. The key element to success in my personally, my attitude towards life is how hard can it be? Try and then just don't take failure personally, because sometimes you're gonna suck at stuff, and that's okay.
Después está el PIRS, que tiene como objetivo comprender textos literarios e informativos a nivel internacional. Tenemos que fomentar familias involucradas, tenemos que desarrollar la creatividad. Vamos a reforzar las artes y el deporte, vamos a volverlo emocional, vamos a eliminar la tarea.